Hey y'all, I wanted to give a quick overview of the One Punch Man Colossus deck that I posted yesterday and talked about during the Colossus Hero Primer. So this is a Colossus Leadership deck, and it's a little bit wonky. So the goal of this deck is to use Colossus's base attack with one of his least used cards, which I think is one of his funnest cards to play, Made of Rage. So it's a hero interrupt. When you make a basic attack, discard a tough status from your hero to get +6 for that attack and gain overkill. So if you just draw this card on your first turn, you can flip to Colossus, discard your tough, and deal 8 damage. That's enough to kill almost any minion in the game. But what we're going to try to do is for each villain stage, take them down in one punch. So to do that, we're going to have to add some stuff onto this 8. Obviously, since we can have 2 tough statuses, we could trigger both of these, which would get us up to 14. So that's enough to kill some villains like Crossbones and some stages of Rhino, but it's not enough for some of the higher health villains. So today I'm going to take him up against Sandman, and the general combo involves using 1 to 2 copies of Made of Rage and 1 to 2 copies of Teamwork. So Made of Rage is going to be able to add 6, so let's say we had one of those, we're up to 8 damage. We're going to also use Teamwork with some allies. So first let's look at one of our allies. We've got Giant Man here. He is expensive, but he starts as a 2/4 ally, so 4 attack to start with, and he can use that swing once before you even start using him for Teamwork, which avoids the consequential damage. Basically, when you make a basic attack or thwart, you can exhaust the ally to add their damage or thwart to your hero. So to get Giant Man even bigger, past the 4 attack, we're going to play Honorary Avenger on him, or Honorary X-Men on him, to be able to play Danger Room Trading. So he's up to 5 attack now. Sidearm will put him to 6, and Inspired will put him all the way to 7 attack from just Giant Man. So now we're looking at 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 7 is 15. So now with any combination of another ally with Teamwork or Made in Rage, you're looking at anything 15 plus in damage. So if you use 2 copies of Made of Rage, that's obviously 12 from the Made of Rage, 2 from Colossus, 7 more from Giant Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 12 plus 7 is going to be 19. There's another Avengers ally in your deck. You have Wonder Man, who can get up to basically 1 less than Giant Man, but doesn't require you to stay at full health. So he could be 6 more, so you can look at a 6, a 7 for 13. 6 more from Made of Rage is going to put you to 19, plus your base attack to 21. If you can get Titanium Muscles into play, you're going to get +1 attack. So the whole combo revolves around Voltroning these 2 allies, keeping them around using Teamwork, and some other cards to use them in the meantime to help Colossus stay afloat. And then take the villain down in 1 powerful punch. Well, not powerful punch, 1 Made of Rage punch. So, the rest of the deck. Obviously, we've got the rest of Colossus's kit. Honestly, Steel Fist, I really don't use in this deck. I mean, you can use it to, try to stun and confuse the villain, but then you're not taking them down in 1 punch. I've used it on Sandman when he has, a Sand Shield out, because the way Deal works, it's not take, you can still get the stun and confuse off, so that'll give you more time to set up your combo. I've used it, against anybody that has tough, things like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to deal all my damage with my Made of Rage punches. So don't use that card a ton. Armor Up I do use to avoid threat placement sometimes, because one of your biggest dangers is you have to waffle around for a while, and that can lead to the threat getting a little bit high. Luckily, we've got lots of blue allies here to help us save the day for threat, but I have used it occasionally. Organic Steel, this card is totally a trap at the beginning of the game. I usually use it as a resource at the beginning, and then I play it mid-game once I have other cards down. And those other cards here are Titanium Muscles and Iron Will. So one gives you +1 attack, one gives you +1 thwart, and this is your resource generation. If you can get up to 2 tough statuses, this can give you 2 resources. You could then remove them for card effects and draw 2 cards to replace them, so you can just burn through a lot of your deck really fast once you get these cards out. So when you're mulliganing, I mean, it's dangerous to mulligan all 6 cards with Colossus. You could draw into both copies of Organic Steel, or even to mulligan one of them away, right? Because you could draw into the other one and not get your setup bonus. But getting these 2 cards out turn 1 or turn 2 sets your game so far ahead that it's probably worth it. All right, so the rest of the deck, we just got things that are going to keep us afloat and help us thin our deck. So we've got Shadowcat, who obviously is forced to be included because of Colossus, and we have Angel. So Angel can be a makeshift Wonder Man. He's not as good as Wonder Man with only 2 attack, but he doesn't require Danger Room training. So if you mulligan away your Danger Room trainings early, you might consider going, if you mulligan away your Honorary X-Men early, you might consider going with Angel instead of Wonder Man. He's about the same cost. He does almost the same damage. I mean, if you're going to do 20 damage in one punch versus 21, you're probably going to win either way, hopefully, in solo. So you can use him. You can also play him as a third ally, so you have an extra target for teamwork, but the chance of having all 3 teamworks in your hand is pretty low. But basically, these could be stand-ins for Wonder Man if you need them. Otherwise, you just play them, use them to maintain thwart while you can. Professor X, same thing. You're going to play him, you're going to thwart for 3, probably confuse the villain, let him soak some damage unless you have Iron Will out to draw, and then flip down to use that confuse as a resource and really set up your combo. We've got Maria Hill for sort of the same reason. She just thins your deck, helps you find the cards you need faster, because you're going to have to draw about 3 of these 5 cards in the same hand in order to win the game or do your one punch. So you're going to want to draw a lot. So Maria Hill can help you. If like 3 of those are in your discard, you need to cycle your deck. So she can help you out. Beast as well can just help you get to that deck cycle faster by taking double resources and ramp your board. Don't play him as much as Maria. Strength in numbers I play a lot, because once I've started to build these allies up, I don't want to use consequential damage to the point that they're defeated, so I can turn them into free card draw with strength in numbers. Even if you're only strength in numbering 1 card further into your deck, it gets you to that deck cycle faster to set up this combo, which is really powerful. We've got 1 extra copy of Honorary X-Men, so hopefully we draw it at the right time to be able to use these Danger Room trainings, and a Triskelion just in case you want to have 2 of these thwarters or backup characters out at a single point in time. I failed to mention on the write-up, probably the most important card for this deck is Peter's Studio. So it's an alter ego action. You exhaust it to discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a Colossus card and add that to your hand. So once you have your setup on the board, what you can do is, through a flip, you can flip down, shuffle a copy of a Colossus card from your discard pile into your deck. So you can shuffle in a copy of Made of Rage when your deck is really thin, and then use Peter's Studio to have a really good chance of finding it. And that works really well for you to shuffle it in and then use Peter's Studio at the start of your next turn to try to get multiple copies of those in your hand. I don't have it in here, but using the leadership training card might actually be appropriate here to shuffle those teamworks in to help set up your combo. Usually you can cycle your deck. If you've got this whole combo out down here, right, you've got 10 cards out of your deck, probably 12 cards, probably 13 cards. So if you do cycle your deck, you're going to see teamworks pretty fast. But being able to seed your deck when it's really thin with a copy or 2 of Made of Rage so that you're almost guaranteed to draw them together with Peter's Studio is probably the most powerful thing you can do. I do use Bulletproof Protector quite a bit, because if you're going to use both copies of Made of Rage, and like I said, you're probably going to do this after flipping down and using Peter's Studio to shuffle Made of Rage in. When you flip down, if you had 2 tough statuses, you're going to lose 1 when you go to Alter Ego form. You can gain 1 back by flipping back up, but if you somehow lose both of your tough statuses and you want to be able to flip into hero form and immediately be able to use 2 Made of Rage, Bulletproof Protector can help set that up, and it might even draw cards off of Iron Will that help you find, your teamworks and other pieces of your combo. So that's the Colossus deck. I'm going to pause the stream here and get set up for a Sandman game, and then we'll get that underway. All right, so we are going to try this One Punch Man Colossus deck against Sandman, and we're going to do Expert Sandman with City and Chaos and Weapon Master from the Rise of Red Skull set. So we're ready to get underway, get things set up here. When revealed, resolve the Surging Sands ability on City Streets, so I believe we have to do that right away. Which is going to discard 5 cards off the top of the deck. So Assault, that's a good thing to go away. 2, 3, 4, 5. And was I supposed to start with like a Sand Clone in play? It's been a long time since I played Sandman. It doesn't look like it. So that's good. Yeah, so we're ready to go. So if he attacks us and deals indirect damage, if your identity takes any amount of damage, so that will, we can get by that with our little tough counters from Colossus. All right, so let's draw our opening hand of 6 cards here as Peter. And see what we got. We got Titanium Muscles right away. That's a great card. We got Maria Hill right away. Also a great card. Made of Rage can go away for now, because that's like a later problem. In fact, all of those cards can go away. We can draw 4 more. And then we're going to go search for an Organic Steel. And like we talked about in the Hero Primer video for Colossus, your most important cards are Titanium Muscles and Iron Will, and we got them both in our opening hand. So that's pretty bonkers. I don't know if we can... I think we can afford to play them both. Let's just see how things go. So we are Peter. We're going to flip here and gain a tough status card. So now if I use Teamwork and Organic Steel, which I'm going to use as a resource to play... let's play Iron Will. We can use Bulletproof Protector to discard a tough status to gain 2 tough status. And when we discard a tough status, we can trigger Iron Will to draw a card. Wow, this is really good. We can pay 2 for Titanium Muscles. And now, since we have 2 tough statuses, we can use that with Maria Hill to draw a card. I think Maria will thwart for now, just to get that under control. And Colossus has 3 scoops for the city streets because he has +1 attack. And with that, I think we're going to toss some stuff. We're going to keep a strength in numbers. It's just going to draw us 1 card, so we actually won't keep it. We'll just toss it and make way. Whoa, don't draw to your hand. Ready up, ally friend. Okay, so we're readying everything up. We're going to draw 4 cards only because we're in Colossus form. And we've got our Giant Man. We don't have enough money to pay him yet, but hopefully we will. So we could always play Wonder Man as our first ally. Anyway, Sandman is going to get 1 threat on the main scheme. He's going to attack us for 3 plus a boost card, and I want to block. Do I want to block with that? I would draw a card off Iron Will. That would get me up to 3 resources for Giant Man. My 4th one could be the last tough card I have, but still not enough to play him. But I still think we're going to do it this way. So we'll lose a tough token depending on what flips up here. Yep, he's going to attack us for 6. It's indirect damage. We're going to soak all of that with tough and draw 1 card from Iron Will. We're going to get an encounter card, which is advance. So he's going to scheme for 1, 2. And it becomes our turn. So we've got some choices here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pay 2 for Wonder Man and get an honorary Avenger on that bad boy, because that's really important. Do I want to keep armor up to avoid threat? Probably not at this point. We're going to have Iron Man scoop the streets down to 0, basically. So we'll set this over to the side. We're going to have Maria do her best thwarting impression and get back in my discard pile so I can play her again later. Colossus, actually maybe Maria won't do that, right? Colossus has 2 thwarts, so he can do the 2 thwart instead, and Maria can just hang out for now. We're going to flip down. We get to shuffle a card back into our deck. And are we ready to shuffle in Maid of Rage? I think we're going to shuffle in an Organic Steel for now. Going to take 1 more flip to get our combo set up, and we're going to draw 5 cards. All right, so here we've got the deal, right? So we can flip up, get a 2nd tough status, and then for 5 resources, play Giant Man. We're looking pretty happy. Okay, 1 threat going on the main. He is going to scheme for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can almost do math. 1, 4. And an encounter card, which is Sandform. When you would deal any amount of damage to Sandman, discard Sandform instead, and then resolve Surging Sands. Okay, not so bad. It's our go. We are going to use this Steel Fist to play Peter's Studio, and then we're going to discard cards looking for a Colossus card, which is armored up. We're going to flip up and get a 2nd tough status card. So that's going to let us use Titanium Muscles, Armored Up, and Genius to play Giant Man, who has a boosting 4 attack currently. What do we want to do? Everybody's ready. I would love to strengthen numbers and draw 3. Is that the right answer? We can afford one more turn of this. So let's do that. Just getting our combo pieces in play. And what do we want to do here? I'd like to get Inspired down. I'd also like to get Organic Steel down. I'm not going to get both. Not this turn. I think the more important play right now is Organic Steel, because that's going to let us stay at as many tough counters as we can. I believe we have 1 Made of Rage there and 1 copy of Teamwork, so we have a good chance of drawing into them together soon, an even better chance if we flip down. So knowing that, I changed my mind. We're going to play Inspired using Angel, and we're going to put it onto Giant Man here, because that's going to make him a whopping 5 attack ally. And we will hold on to the other 2 for now, drawing 2 cards. Okay. Villain's turn, he's going to get 1 threat. Everybody is ready. He's going to attack us for 3 plus something, and we're probably, we're just going to take it with tough. 3, 4, 5. So we lose tough, and we draw a card from Iron Will. So we've got some pretty good choices here. We get an encounter card, and it is Sand Clone, which is equal to the number of searching sand counters, which is currently 0, because he hasn't attacked and damaged us, which is really, really good. All right. It's our go. What do we want to do? I think we're going to use Titanium Muscles to play a sidearm on Giant Man, which works for me. So he's now a 6 damage attack character. We are going to thwart with Maria and Colossus. And can Giant Man afford to thwart once? I think he can, and that's 3 more threat, which seems pretty good. I didn't mean to stack all those cards up. So Giant Man's a 6. No, he's a 3, 6. And he only has 4 health, so he's down to 3 health, so he still has his +2, but it's going to go away soon. Maria just bit a bullet there. I think we're going to flip down and shuffle a Made for Rage in. I'm deciding if I want to kill this Sand Clone with Wonder Man, but I can do that after I flip. So I'll flip, and we're going to shuffle a Made of Rage back into our deck. We want to get as many cards as we can out of our hand. I'm thinking about playing Beast and getting a double resource out of my deck. There's a strength in there. Well, first let's do Piotr's Studio and see what we can find. We get one of our Made of Rages, so we're probably not going to play Beast, is the answer. So let's go ahead and play a copy of Organic Steel. So once we get to 2 toughs, we can kind of sit at them. And then let's discard a card so that Wonder Man can take out the Sand Clone. That is going to resolve the ability on Searching Sands. So we place a Sand counter, discard 1 card. And we'll hold Made of Rage in our hand at this point. So we're going to ready everything up. We need a consequential on our friend here, our X-Men friend, Wonder Man. And we're going to draw 5 cards. All right, we have the nuts. So this is so exciting. Okay. Let's survive the villain phase first. We're going to get 1 threat. He's going to scheme for 1, 2. That's okay. We're going to get an encounter card, which has resolved the Searching Sands ability, and this card gains Surge. So this is going to go to 2. And we're going to discard 2 cards. And then that card gains Surge into a Now or Never. Place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme. Exhaust is Iron Will, Hero Response. Yeah, it is. Bummer. exhaust a character you control, and spend 1 resource of any type. We don't want to do either of those. Deal 3 indirect damage to the first player. That's kind of a problem for me. Can we afford that? I think we can. Oh, that's a hero response too. Balls. So I was going to assign the damage and try to put the tough card back out. Wonder Man could take 2 of it, and Giant Man could take 1, but without another honorary Avenger or honorary X-Men, we don't have a way to boost him to +1 more HP, which would lose 2 attack. And it would place an acceleration token, so there's like lots of bad things going on. I think we can. We'll just take the 3 damage into our tough and place an excel token. It's not what I want to do, but it's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Well, that dampened my mood a little bit. Let's get another card from Piotr's Studio. Oh gosh, I don't know if there's another one left. We get Steel Fist, so this last card is not going to be a Made of Rage. We only get 2 copies of that, I think. I believe. I can't remember. What are we going to do? So we have this problem with Sandform being out there. So we could punch into Sandform, but that's not going to do us much good. Let's flip up and get our tough card first. We are going to use yeah, so we can do this. We're going to exhaust this card as a resource. So we're paying 1 resource, 2 resources to play Steel Fist. So we're going to deal 5 damage. Instead of dealing the damage, we're going to resolve the ability on Searching Streets, discarding 3 cards. We have to lose our tough token to give him a confused and a stunned, which is fine because we're going to put that tough token back out with Organic Steel and draw a card from Iron Will. So we are going to get dealt an encounter card. And unfortunately, all of our Made of Rages, well, one of our Made of Rages and a Teamwork made it back in. So we can get to the 1 punch a second time. All right, so we've gotten that out of the way. We need to get to 18 attack. And let's see how exactly we can do it. So let's get a Danger Room training placed onto Wonder Man. So he now has 4 attack. We've got 6 attack here. 7, 8, 9. 15. So we're not quite to 1 punch land, but I'm going to call it a pretty good hit and just go with it. So what we are going to do is we're going to start performing a basic attack for 3 attack because we have +1 from Titanium Muscles. We're going to use Teamwork to add Wonder Man's 4 attack, so we're up to 7 attack. We're going to use Teamwork to add Giant Man's 6 attack, so we're up to 13. Is that right? 4, 3, 7, 6 is 13. Well, we do have enough to one-shot him. I don't know where I was doing my math wrong. Then we're going to play Made of Rage. When you basic attack, discard a tough status. We'll draw a card from Iron Will, obviously. We don't have a second Organic Steel to put a card back out, but the villain's stunned, so that's okay. And we get +6 attack and Overkill. So we're sitting at 4, +6 is 10, +3 is 13, +6 is 19. So that's going to one-shot this guy right into the next phase. When revealed, place a sand counter. That's fine. I don't mind. Resolve Surging Sands. So we're going to discard 4 cards. Painful. And I think that's going to be it. I think we're going to discard these cards to get through our deck a little bit faster and draw 4. Alright, so we got some stuff that's going to help us with our combo eventually here. We've got 2 threat going out because of that. We have a stunned and 2 encounter cards. So the first one is Master Plan, which is going to search for a side scheme and likely fail to find one. Correct. So we won't find a side scheme, but we will place an acceleration token, which is all sorts of goodness for Sandman. So we deal 3 indirect damage to the first player. Wonder Man at this point has 2 health, plus 1 to get to 3 health, plus 1 to get to 4 health. So he could take 2 of that, but I think I'm just going to assign all 3 to Colossus for now. We have one more encounter card, which is deal X indirect damage among players where X is the number of sand counters on city streets. 4. So we're going to take 4 more on Colossus. Call it a day. So it's our go. How much health does he have in this phase? 19. So we had enough to get there, but we need some time. We need some time. So let's put an honorary X-Men over here in Giant Man. So he's got 1 more hit point to spare, so he can thwart for 3. Wonder Man can thwart for 2. Colossus can scoop for 2, and Wonder Man can sweep the streets. So that feels pretty good. We're going to flip down and shuffle a second Made of Rage back into our deck. So we've got 2 of those and 1 copy of Teamwork now. We might need, oh my gosh, we might need a leadership training in this deck. I'm going to get rid of 1 armor up and a second armor up because I don't think it's important for us to avoid a scheme activation right now. We are going to shuffle this up and use Piotr's Studio. Just getting things out of the way of our other cards. We're going to discard Steel Fist because we're not trying to do anything fancy with that. We're just trying to survive 1 more turn and draw into some good cards. I'm deciding if I want to keep Bulletproof Protector. It looks like well, without Teamwork, I might need 2 tough statuses. So I think I'm just going to be fine with this and draw 5. So I got no Made of Rages. That is a bummer. I did get a Teamwork, which isn't bad. So we'll see if we can top deck 1 off Organic Steel. It's a 2 in 14 chance, so pretty good. All right, we got 3 threat going on the main. Villain is confused, and we get a Exhaust Your Identity and Surge. That is, good thing we kept that, I guess. Really unfortunate. Into a Rhino. Well, we don't care about Rhino that much. We can just plow through him if we draw into a Made of Rage. Okay. That was that. So we are going to use Piotr's Studio again. We're discarding cards. Okay. Haven't found one yet. We got 1 Made of Rage, so we're halfway there, and a Teamwork. So Teamwork can add 6 right here. Made of Rage can add 6. We're at a base 3, so we're up to 15. So we're really close to making it. We're going to play on Arvia Hill to draw a card. Okay, it's not the card we needed yet. Let's flip up and gain a tough status. And we're going to play Bulletproof Protector to discard a tough status to ready Colossus. We'll draw a card off Iron Will and put a tough status back out using Organic Steel. So we're really darn close to being able to do our 1-hit wonder. We're not quite there. So 6 plus 6, we can still do some damage. Deciding how much I care about my gimmick, it's a difficult choice. We could tough it out for a turn if we really needed to. So we could thwart with Maria, bring the threat down. How many resources are in my deck? I see energy, I see genius, I see strength, so none. So I can't thin my deck with resources with Beast. I can get an Inspired up there on Wonder Man, which doesn't hurt. It's kind of wonderful. Now we've got 3 HP left on Giant Man, so he can't perform any attacks. Wonder Man has 5 attack and 2 health left. So he could make some work out of Rhino, and we could finish him off with a base attack from Colossus. It's a little awkward that we're going to discard the rest of our hand. Or we could play Shadow Cat, and she could just jump Rhino. Does he gain overkill? He does gain overkill on piercing. So we got to get rid of Rhino. So we're going to attack for 3, and we're going to discard a card to attack with Wonder Man for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to get rid of Rhino, who doesn't have tough. We are going to take an attack from our friend up here, unfortunately. So I'm going to discard Shadow Cat. We're going to ready up and be ready for the next day here. So we've got 2 new cards coming to us. We've got what we need. We just need to get a second tough status. So we're going to play a little conservative here. We've got 3 threat coming out. Sandman's going to attack, and he has overkill, which is a real bummer for us. I did not think of that. Do we have another bulletproof protector in our deck? Nope. Well, how risky do we feel like being in life? We're just going to take the attack into our tough counter. So it's going to be 3, 4. It's going to take tough away. We'll draw 1 with Iron Will, just to help cycle our deck. We've got 1 encounter card. It's Sand Smash. He's going to attack us with +1 attack, so that's 4 attack. We'll defend and take 2 more. And it's our go. So that was pretty brutal, honestly, if we're being real here. So what are we going to do? Maria's going to thwart. Let's get the threat under control. Wonder Man could thwart to finish that off. We do get a counter. We have to resolve Surging Sands because we took damage for that second attack. So we're going to discard 1 card here. Okay. We're going to flip down, and we're going to shuffle in a bulletproof protector. And then we're going to use Peter's Studio to look for that bulletproof protector. We get a Steel Fist instead. So Wonder Man, who's got 4, 5 health, will thwart for 1, 2, 3, just to keep that as low as possible. Giant Man's going to chill. We're going to play Triskelion, I guess, just to get it out there. And we'll discard, we don't need to discard Steel Fist. We'll just draw 2. Oh, we didn't draw into Bulletproof Protector, but I think it'll be fine. So we're going to ready everything up and get ready for the next villain phase. So we got 3 threat going on the main scheme. We did not deck out yet. He's going to scheme for 1, just 1. We've got an encounter card, which is Under Fire, so we've really got a lot of encounter cards. We've got the villain schemes. Luckily, he doesn't have a weapon, so that's going to be 1, just 1. And Dirt Trap. Not a big deal, because we're going to blow him up this turn. Alright, so here's how we're going to do it. We are going to exhaust Peter's Studio to draw the last card of our deck, because we know it's a bulletproof protector, because we shuffled it in. That lets us shuffle our deck, deal ourselves an encounter card. That's okay, we're going to win before we get there. We're going to flip up with Colossus, gaining a tough status. We're going to play Bulletproof Protector to remove a tough status, draw a card for Iron Will, and then replace it with 2 tough statuses. What's better than 1 tough status? 2. We are going to perform a basic attack. You all ready for this? So that's 3 damage. We've got a 6 attack guy here and a 5 attack guy here. So we will teamwork another 6. So we're up to 9 damage. We'll remove a tough, drawing a card with Iron Will, and play Made of Rage. Oh, that's the wrong card. Play Made of Rage. So that's going to take us from 6, 9 to 15 with Overkill. We'll respond again, losing another tough status, drawing from Iron Will. Play a second Made of Rage, so we're now up to 21 damage on our base attack, right into Sandman's face, 19 to 0, 18 to 0. Sandman is defeated. So, GG Sandman, that was super fun, but she ain't got nothing on us. So we did take some damage. It took a little combo play. We kind of lingered a lot longer than we probably had to win the game. But it was pretty fun to see the villain go down in 2 damaging attacks. Now, we did have to do a Steel Fist on the villain in order to remove that sand form, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But yeah, so that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay video. Let me know if you try it out, and let me know what villains you use or fight against as Colossus and take down in one punch.